going to talk about what I call trading eights. And so when Taika would do wraps with the bow, there are 8 locations: front, top, front, bottom, back, top, back, bottom of each hand. So there's 8 locations, and with each of those comes some issues and some angles of attack that you have to worry about. So if I come and do front of his front hand on top and come underneath, come in, maybe even poke his hips, his ribs, I can curl in and I can get that elongation of the arm. I can capture his hand on the stick. So here's the first one. Second one comes here, right? But I don't want to pull it back into me, so I've got to come and immediately trap in, and there's some twisting motion that kind of helps with that. Coming on the pinky side of his front hand, I've got to bring this stick up a little bit more, and you see that motion in kata quite a bit. I come in this way, but I've also got to change my angle of attack. Otherwise, I could get into a little bit of a problem if I just go here and pull up. I'm getting close to that stick hitting myself in the ear. So Taika would commonly come in, maybe even do a poke, and then you'd see that back foot kind of pirouette around, right? And then he might drive in, might even do an elbow in, etc. So again, I'm on top. He can also come in underneath, come here, and now I'm rolling outside as I bring that down. So that's all the 4 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. The back hand, same deal. You got to sit here and experiment. I'm on top. As I bring this up, obviously the back end of that stick isn't really much of a threat to me. But I can get a real good ulnar attack right there. If I come here, right, I can't just come here and pull. I'll probably get whacked with the stick. So I've got to come in, and as I trap that stick wants to come there. So that's my concern, right? That particular attack lends itself really well to smacking myself in the temple. So if I bring it more up, my stick more up as I do that, it changes this a little bit. Come in underneath the backhand. I can come here and trap, and I'm pretty safe from getting struck by the stick. Same here, I'm pretty safe from getting struck by that. And all of this was done with us with the exact same grip, right? Both of us have the right palm up, left palm down. So identical grips, even though we're facing opposite directions. That is the first 8. Now I need to practice also using my back hand. I'm going to stay in the identical matching grips, but I'm going to use my backhand. As I come up here, right, there's nothing for me to grab, so I've got to somehow get here, but now what's my danger? Right? Yeah, Brad can hurt me pretty quick. So that's I probably don't want to do the front under grip, but I can come the back under grip and be relatively safe. Right? If I go over the top, I can come up this way, and my hip can check his bow, and I can capture it. So going this way, I probably get hit. This way, I'm fairly safe. I can hip check. Coming under, I'm pretty safe. Coming over that back hand, again, if I just pry, I'm loosening his grip, but what's going to happen when that stick comes free? It's going to hit me in the head, right? So you're learning angles of attack, you're learning which attacks are best with my front hand and with my back hand. Now going under grip here, really hard to get into that position with that under grip, right? But if I come around this way, I can come up there, and if I do that initial curl and then shoot off at an angle, I get a little bit better angle there. Under behind the hand, I can do a pretty good capture. Under over the hand, as I try to come in there, it's kind of hard. But if I come around this way, then I'm able to capture, and then I may even roll it in that direction. So again, all of those were in identical grips. I'm either using the front of the stick or the back of the stick. Now, if I switch it, now we're mirrored. His right hand's palm up, my left hand's palm up. Okay, so now I repeat that entire process. I go under, doesn't work very well from this angle, right? Can I mitigate that by switching my angle and pushing through that opening? Yes, I can. That was under. Going over, again, that doesn't work very well in that instance, but if I really drive and then use my hip as a check for his bow, I can get that. Same here, this angle, I can't get on the wrist very well, but if I change my body, I can. So we can go through that whole process. If I just roll this, it's gonna hit me in the head, and I don't want that to happen. I can come in here possibly, but then again, I'm gonna free that hand, and it's still gonna whack me, so I have to change some things. Again, over the top, here, changing some things around, that just slips straight out, so that tells me that I probably need to go a little bit deeper, right? And here's my danger, depending on what I do. If I just pull straight, I'm probably going to catch that stick, depending on the closeness they're holding it to the end. I can come around and lose the stick. Underneath here, this angle, this stick might hurt, right? If I change the angle a little bit, I get a different body reaction. Backhand, over, here, maybe drive through that way, but the more I turn it, the more likely I'm going to get hit with the own stick. So we just did left palm up versus right palm up, front. I've got to practice to learn all those angles. I've got to practice with the back end of the stick as well. So there we are. Look at the danger there. Yep. I don't want to be there. Now, here's another thing. Depending on where he's at the deal, we see that motion in kata quite frequently. So you may want to do that, right? As I lift and come here, I might end up in a little bit different position. So over the top, under, over the top. The other way that Taika sometimes would hold the stick was 2 palms down. So now that introduces, we did this, but the backhand moving up and down is going to be different than when my hands were opposite. So if both hands are palm down, then any grip motion I do with that backhand is going to be different than when it was this way. So I've got to practice those 8 as well, right? Coming here, probably not from this particular angle going to do me very good. Coming, that was under, coming over, I can check myself, under, over, under, under, over, right? So each of those different hand positions, the bad guy is just holding their stick this one way for your initial set of 8s, right? And we match them. So both of us have right hand palm up, then left, and then we do every iteration we can possibly think of to learn the angles learn what works, what is dangerous, and how to correct all those problems. And that's all I got.